Good afternoon. Welcome back into the Cowboys Report. Tom Downey here. Coming up on today's show, we'll discuss the drama and some actual details, by the way, on the Trevon Diggs front. Jerry Jones kind of ripped the linebackers, frankly. He also offered more praise for the edge rushers and some trade rumors, and just in general on that front, both linebacker and edge. And we'll mention the Kayvon Thibodeaux trade rumors that popped up today as well. Before we get into that, it is a two-channel race for the most likes this month on Chat Sports among all our different channels here. It is us and the Raiders Report. Third place is not all that close. But we are losing the like battle. Help us out by liking today's video, please, and thank you. Let's begin with what Jerry Jones had to say on these defensive ends. And he is, again, pushing the idea that the Cowboys are deep in this group, saying in terms of numbers, in terms of players that can rush the passer, we've got the best numbers that we've had. This is like saying, I have 6 $1 bills, therefore I've got more than 3 $5 bills. Like, yes, you have more technically, but from a quality perspective, no, you don't. That's not true at all. Pressure numbers this year via PFF for the Cowboys. Dante Fowler leads the Cowboys in both total pressures and pressure rate. His numbers have gone up a little bit in recent weeks. Same with Donovan Ezeiruaku. He does seem like a player who is on the rise, even if the sack numbers aren't showing it yet. Opposite is true for Sam Williams. James Houston has been pretty solid. He converts his pressures to sacks at a pretty high figure, but they refuse to put him out there and run down, so they just don't play him that much. Jadeveon Clowney has flashed some stuff. Didn't think he was very good last week, but who was against the Broncos? And then, frankly, Marshawn Kneeland has been a pretty massive disappointment, where he's banged up, I know, but he's not playing well. There's one of two things, or both, that's happening here. Jerry Jones either refuses to admit edge rusher is a need, because that would mean that they do miss Micah Parsons, which, like, they obviously do. It's okay to say that. You were going to have to do other things to replace him in the aggregate, which they have not done very well. Or maybe he's just trying really hard to not unveil that they're trying to find a pass rusher. National media has all reported they called about Max Crosby. They called about Trey Hendrickson. They got told no. It's fine. They tried. It could be a bit of both, even. He doesn't want to publicly admit that they miss an edge, but they've done some shopping on that front. Do you think the Cowboys need to go get another pass rusher? And this could also just be in the offseason, which I think is an obvious yes. Let me know. Y for yes, N for no. Then we'll get to one player who could potentially fit that mold. We have mentioned Kayvon Thibodeaux in the past here on the channel. He is very much worth bringing up again amid some reports that other teams are calling the Giants about a trade. Jordan Schultz sending this out earlier this morning says, another name to watch on the trade front is Giants edge Kayvon Thibodeaux. He's under contract for another year after the season, but some around the league have wondered if he's part of New York's long-term plans and if he could become available with the Giants sitting at 2-6. Teams are actively exploring the pass rush trade market. Movement has been slow, in part because there are so many available options. I actually don't know if there are that many available options, by the way. At least good available options. This one got, I don't know, not sent to the ether, but slowed down a little bit by Mike Garafolo, who clearly referencing the tweet there, but spoke to a few teams that reached out to the Giants on Kayvon Thibodeaux, and they've been told there's no interest in trading him. Thibodeaux is under contract through next season, and the team picked up his 5th-year option. They intend on having him in 2026. Schultz is right, though. Long-term, it is tough to envision the Giants having paid Brian Burns, top of the edge market money at the time, drafting Abdul Carter, wanting to use him, and eventually paying Kayvon Thibodeaux as well. We'll come back to this more in depth here in just a second. Today's show is made possible by Bubs Naturals. I will not lie to you guys, I am getting older. My knees hurt a little bit more, thanks baseball, golf, and other sports. I got the dad back these days where sometimes it just wakes up a little bit tighter. Aging sucks, but it doesn't have to, and that is what Bubs Naturals is for. You guys can get 20% off by using code CHAT over at bubsnaturals.com. Bubs Naturals collagen peptides help you out when your collagen production starts to naturally decline in your body around your mid-20s. Help restore collagen levels closer to what your body naturally had in its youth, so your joints feel stronger, your hair and nails grow healthier, and your skin looks smoother. There's no junk, there's no sugars, sweeteners, or fillers. It's third-party tested, NSF certified for sport, Whole30 approved, so it's clean and trustworthy, and it's sustainably sourced as well. Over 100,000 happy customers and was voted 2024's best collagen by Health.com. Live better, longer. For a limited time, you guys get 20% off at Bubs Naturals by using code CHAT at checkout. Head to bubsnaturals.com, that's BUBS naturals.com, and use code CHAT, and you're all set. After you purchase, they'll ask if you heard about them. Support our show, tell them we sent you. Heading back now to more on Kayvon Thibodeaux. If you will recall the 2022 draft where the Cowboys were very upset that people thought Tyler Smith was not the highest rated player on their board, and Jerry Jones leaked the draft board, or at least alleged draft board, or one of their draft boards. Well, the internet sleuths out there were able to put names together. The guy at the top there was Kayvon Thibodeaux. He was their highest graded player in 2022. So far this year, the sack production might not exactly be what they've been looking for, but he's a double-digit sack guy back in 2023, was a little bit banged up in 2022. The per-game productions have all been very solid. This is a very good pass rusher. He's not a top 5 guy. He's probably not a top 10 guy, but hey, he's 25 years old, under contract next year. There's value, and a lot of it in the end. Contracts of note. Giants don't save much with the trade. Cowboys would owe the prorated figure of $1.1 million. So they owe him the vet minimum for the rest of his game checks. And $14.75 is guaranteed in 2026 as part of that 5th-year option. Here's the issue. Well, I guess issues for the Cowboys potentially trading for Kayvon Thibodeaux. The cost is the biggest one and the crux of the issue. Even though the Giants say they don't want to trade him, everyone has their price, but that price is going to be expensive. If the Giants wanted to move him, they were at minimum going to be asking for a third, which of course you don't have. Talk to our guy Marshall Green here, our Giants host. He thinks it might be more like a first because the Giants don't have to trade Kayvon Thibodeaux. He's under contract next year. They have several more years of team control. They don't need to move on from him if they don't want to, and if they don't want to, then the cost is going to be expensive. Look, you try to offer Sam Williams in a 4, that doesn't do anything for the Giants to get ahead of that idea. I think Thibodeaux is the type of player I would love on the Cowboys. He's young, he's talented, he fills a need. There's some team control there, but I don't know if he's available realistically for the price that starts to make sense for the Dallas Cowboys. So with that in mind, would you trade for Kayvon Thibodeaux? T for trade, P for pass. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Let's move to the Trevon Diggs drama. We got more info on this, thanks to Calvin Watkins, that came after Micah Parsons went not really out of his way, but like kind of sort of, to rip the Cowboys and their handling here. Jerry Jones on his radio show said he didn't think that Diggs was done playing for the Cowboys. We'll see. The injury history that matters here. He had the foot fracture back in 2020, ACL tear in his left knee in 2023, another knee surgery on that knee in 2024. Undisclosed exact knee injury going on right now on the right knee now, plus the concussion. All kinds of issues. Here's what Micah Parsons said about Trevon Diggs. I feel like they F my dog over. You know what I mean? He was asked, by the way, by Yahoo Sports after the Packers game, so the media did ask him. I just think that they didn't do right by him. Didn't participate all camp, and he's going out there playing week 1 and week 2. I don't think you do a player like that. The type of knee injury he had, they forced him out there. He has no reps, really. He's telling me he was in the warm-up phase during week 1. Even with the ramp-up, I feel like you just don't do that. I feel like they screwed him over. The organization let him down. You know what I mean? You just don't do that to a player. I think that it was just mad wrong, and I pray for him. Look, for starters, we are kind of close to the jilted X status. And they were technically different designations. But Micah, you played week 1 without any training camp, right? You do remember that because you had your back issue, so to speak. Whatever. I think this is relevant, not because Micah said it, because Micah's super tight with Trevon Diggs. They were best friends in Dallas. I think it is reasonable to say if Micah says it, Diggs probably feels the exact same way. I think there are issues, though, with maybe not the most reliable narrator, in general for both parties involved here, but for Micah and Diggs. Good thread that went out from Calvin Watkins on social media last night. Says, not sure if the Cowboys are screwing Diggs or not. I know they docked his pay in the offseason because it didn't work out at the Star enough, and they didn't believe it worked out enough in Florida. Also, Diggs did work out hard and wanted to return for the season opener, which he did. He pushed to return sooner than what the team wanted him to. But there were issues with Diggs going to treatment during the season, and he was benched and fined for it. There is a possibility Diggs might need some minor surgery on his right knee, but rest is the prescribed method right now. He's the Cowboys' best corner. Don't know about that. He spoke about Cowboys playing more man-to-man over zone, which the Cowboys eventually did. In the Diggs drama feud, who do you blame more? I think both can get some blame. I think I know who you're going to blame more, but I want to hear it anyway. D for Trevon Diggs, C for the Cowboys. With all the Trevon Diggs drama, it has been clear for months now there is a lot of frustration on both sides with each other, and we are trending towards a divorce probably after the season ends. If Calvin Watkins is right and Diggs wasn't going to treatment, what are you doing, buddy? That's on you. Cowboys should be mad at you over that. The rehab efforts in general have long been a friction point, dating back to last year, dating back to this year. The Cowboys very publicly made that statement. Diggs also came back faster than expected. Maybe he wasn't all wrong. And he wasn't wrong about so much zone coverage. He was right about that. The Cowboys seem to be mad that Jerry's kind of made public comments on this too. Well, our paid guys should be our vocal leader guys. That's not who Diggs is. Why would you pay him and then be mad he's been the same guy? That part doesn't make any sense to me. By the way, no one's trading for him. No one wants hurt, injured, expensive guy. That's had to decline in play. That's not appealing to other NFL teams. I do wonder if he'll ever play again for Dallas. I think your secondary would benefit from having him out there. Triquez Bridges, come on. But we're already doing the Savone Revel hype thing, and I would not be shocked if Dallas just doesn't bother bringing Diggs back. But we'll see. For more free Cowboys YouTube videos, we have you covered. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out. YouTube.com/CowboysTV. Let's go to the linebackers here. Jerry didn't really hold back on calling out the linebacker play against the Broncos. And you know what? He wasn't wrong. He said, we need to basically have better play from the linebackers, maintaining the integrity of their gaps, which the linebackers have to fill. They have to slide, and they did a good job on us, Denver did the other day, and we did a poor job. We have to do a better job there. Look, name all of the linebackers who are playing well right now, and I honestly, I don't think you'd be able to find a team that's doing a linebacker that's doing a good job. Like, I'm tired of watching 59 not know what's going on in front of him. Like, I would like to see more Maris Leofau. Like, I'm at the point where I can either be good and old, or I can be young and inconsistent. And Murray right now is old and not good. Let's try Leofau. I don't think you can keep tossing out Murray and James every week and expecting to work at linebacker right now. Now, Jerry was asked about a trade for linebackers. He said, not necessarily, not at all, but possibly. How about that for an answer? I would not be surprised if a linebacker trade happens. The Cowboys have a need, and I don't think it's fair. They're doing the hyping overshown thing. I don't think it's fair to put all of this expectation on a guy coming off a devastating knee injury who we haven't really seen do anything in about a calendar year and go, oh, it's going to be all better now. But whether it's overshown, a linebacker trade in general, both are future videos on the channel. So make sure you guys are subscribed.